Alright, and we're live. Well, how is everybody? You guys having a good day so far? My excuse me, my throat's a little scratchy. Started getting scratchy yesterday. Hopefully I think it's just the allergies and such. But if I end up coughing a lot, that's why. Or clearing my throat. I've got some lozenges and some tea, so hopefully that will help. Today, so we're picking up from last week. So last week we started making our background hex map for a solo sort of RPG hex crawl. And so yesterday we set up sort of the basic area, or not yesterday, last week we set up the basic area. Yesterday I cleaned up the map, but it's sort of the local area where we're going to be starting the campaign. So I wanted to get that set up, and actually we can just go ahead and look at that real quick. Let me move this over. Alright. There we go. So you can see we got it set up over here. I just cleaned up basically the left side of the map, just to make it a little bit easier as we go in and start playing, and we'll be expanding this area, and we'll have this for a nice reference. Our different sizes, different scales of maps. And that sort of brings us to what we are going to do today, which is character creation. That was our plan for today. I guess we'll leave the map up in case I need it later. So yeah, I wasn't really sure. So one of the things that I'm contemplating is whether I want to start this character off at level 1, or if I want to try to do a level 0 with it. Now, I'm a little hesitant because D&D at low levels can already be pretty swingy and can be very deadly. So even just taking away that one level and pushing them down to a level 0, that's even easier to get dead or be able to fail challenges. But it's also seems really fun. It could be something new and different, which I'm interested in playing, because I haven't done sort of a 0 level before. I looked at a few things during the week to try to figure out if it was doable, and it looks doable. But it's going to be difficult if we choose to do that, and I think a lot of that's going to come down to the ancestry and the background and the stats. We need to know sort of all the other pieces of the character building pie before we get to class. And that'll tell us, I think, whether or not this character is going to need that class, which is one of our big questions down here, right? Class versus no class. We've all got no class around here. But for our character. And we also have some other, burning questions. Are they local to the area? That's one of the things we talked about last week. Are they going to be local to this area, or are they coming in there? This is going to be their first time in the area. We're going to use Xanthar's Guide to Everything, This Is Your Life, and I've got some other character building questions, which are really useful when you're playing a solo game, because we need to have a lot of threads to pull on as far as characters' stories. And we'll build also some NPCs that will be important to our character, both, enemies and friends and family and rivals. So I think probably the best thing to do is go ahead and start. And usually for solo RPGs, like solo runs, I want to start filling out, with the character sheet on the right, filling out these ability scores. And I typically do that for if I'm running a bigger campaign, something for an entire party. I usually use point buy or this standard array, but I think it's really helpful because you need a more rounded character for a solo playthrough, so you can do more things with them. And I think doing rolling 4d6 gives us the opportunity to be much better in most of our stats than taking the standard array. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And now I've got to figure out, am I going to choose where those ability scores go? Or and we're just going to take it down the line. And whatever happens, happens. I like rolling down the line because we don't really have a firm idea for this character yet. We don't even know if they're local, right? We don't even know if they know anything about the starting area. And because we don't have sort of a strong theme that we're going for with this character right out the box, I'm inclined to roll and just kind of see what we come up with, and then we can choose an ancestry or race or species that's going to help those stats, right? Because we need survivability, especially at very low levels, and especially going and adventuring by ourselves. But we may not be by ourselves. I shouldn't say that, because we may have a sidekick as well. I haven't determined on that. If we get through this, and depending on what character we build, I may start going into the sidekicks. Or if we're running long, I may save that for another time. But let's just go ahead and start rolling up our stats. All right. Let's see. Let's get a new window over here. Put that right here. We'll use Google's broken dice little roller widget because it's not working correctly. Right, I said roll 1d20. Now it's rolling 1d6. But I used to appropriately do that. It used to work. But they've messed with it a little bit, and I don't know why it's like that now. Alright, so since we're going to go down the line, we're going to go with strength first. 4? Okay. Not so good. 1. Hopefully, that's the only one. Only 1. Okay, so 8. So we hit the threshold, at least for 5e. Okay, that's better. Alright, so that gives us a 12. So, and I always put these guys in the level 1, so the modifier is larger. Over here on the character sheet, when you pick the modifier, when you go +1, that's much easier to read. Alright. It's starting off pretty good. No, nope. Okay. Okay. So at least average. Okay, better than average. Another 12. Alright. So we're a little better than the average person in strength and dexterity. A little bit more fit. That's good for an adventurer of any sort. Alright, that's a good start. Solid 5. And a 6. Great. Great. A 2. That's fine. Okay. So we end up with a 13 in con. Bit more hail. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised by these results. 3d6 pretty much averages out to about 11. So, if we were rolling a little bit better, hopefully we get one good stat, one really strong stat. Or else it may be kind of rough for us. It may actually have to call for a reroll. Okay, 14. It's good, strong. Yeah, 14. So, that's intelligence. Well, we don't have a lot of options as far as intelligence-based classes, so, but it is a direction we can go with. An intelligence-based character actually would probably tie into this thing pretty nicely, because we have the sage that we know is one of the important NPCs in the area. So this could be somebody who's seeking it out, maybe an apprentice of some sort. Alright, well, we hit the minimum. Well, yuck. An 8 in wisdom. Oh, that's not very good. Alright, does that... unless our charisma blows it out of the water here. Mm-hmm, 9. 13. Okay, 13's not bad. Okay, 14. Okay, so that means that we can go wizard or we can go a charisma-based class. I mean, basically, what we've learned here is that the character that we're going to make is probably going to be a caster, because they're going to be either intelligence or charisma based, because those are our highest stats. Just to make sure that we get to the 16, so we can get that +3, which is really necessary, right? That's the way that the standard array for 5e is set up anyways. Is so you are at least starting with that +3 in whatever your primary attribute is. Okay. We certainly don't need to re-roll, and we came out with 1 negative, so they're a little foolhardy. Okay. So they're smart, but not wise. So they may be a little eccentric, but they're also kind of charismatic. Okay. Alright, I can start to see who this person maybe is. Maybe a little bit. Alright. So I think the next best thing is for us to choose a ancestry or race. So I like this website because it gives you all these guys real quick. And since I don't focus on using D&D Beyond, I need some other resources that make it easier than flipping through all the books. This lets us sort with our filter, so if we're looking for somebody who's charisma based, gets a charisma bonus. I mean, my mind is brought to Aarakocra. Yeah, Aarakocra, right? That's how you say it. Just because that would be fun. It would be fun to have if we're... Because a lot of problems can be solved by flying, right? And usually we need more versatility, especially in traversal. And having a character that can fly, because it's still going to be an issue, because probably if we give them a sidekick, their sidekick is probably not going to be able to fly. So they're still going to have to deal with that sort of issues. But it does give them a lot more versatility and a lot more options. But I kind of want to pick a regular, I say regular, like a PHP race, because I feel like the bloat for ancestries is out of control in 5e. Right, we get multiple versions of the same ancestry that are used across different books, so they all have different rules. It's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess. So actually, let me do that. I'm gonna be... So, I think this is like an 80% chance that I'm going to use a player's handbook race, or a variant of that race. One of the more sort of core high fantasy races, or ancestries. So basically I'm going to roll a d10. And if I roll a 9 or a 10, then I'm going to pick something that's not in the player's handbook, so not a core fantasy race. But if I roll within that 80%, we're picking straight from the player's handbook. So, let's see what happens. Just barely. Alright, just barely. But we are choosing from the player's handbook. Okay. So, let's... Filters... You gotta be in the player's handbook. Okay. So, yeah, those are our options. Now, I don't mind using the sort of Tasha's Cauldron variant where I can make the ability scores fit what I need. That's especially nice. I think that gives you a better opportunity to play what used to be suboptimal ancestry class combinations. So half health is pretty good. Very classic high charisma character. I haven't just played a... You know, I haven't played a dwarf. Well, no, I have played a dwarf recently. Any thoughts? Big burning desires one way or the other? Well, suck. I may just roll for it, honestly. I may just roll for it. You know what? Why did they not include human in this list? there's more races that are supposed to be here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? I'm not crazy. You're crazy. So now we can look at those real quick. So we don't want to look at those. We just want the player's handbook. So let's just go ahead and fix that. See what I'm talking about? Look at the load on these guys. So much. Right? We just want these guys. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay, so we're just missing one. I think humans were the only one that was missing. Alright, well, no strong feelings one way or the other. A charismatic character, especially since we're moving around the ability scores. It can be a charismatic character can be of any ancestry. So I'm just gonna roll a d10 and then re-roll the 10 if I get the 10. I'm gonna say roll 1d10. It's gonna roll me a d6 for some reason. 3. Okay, what's third race? Elf. Okay, I was kind of leaning towards elf anyways, but good. Alright, perfect. Alright. Alright. Alright, so alright, yeah, we'll do elf. That's fine. What kind of elf are they? I wonder. Hmm. Alright, well we get dark vision, which is always useful, so we'll go ahead and add that. 60, right? Yeah. Yeah, dark vision says right we have keen senses, which gives us perception proficiency. Click that in. Right. So we have our Fey ancestry, so we have Fey ancestry. Sure. We're immune to sleep. Right. And of course we trance. It's 4 hours of trance. Hmm. We know Common and Elvish for our languages. No problem. Alright, who's our elf? I forget what the elf subraces are. I have this. I have it up somewhere. Yeah. Oh, okay, fine. I have to. Alright, hold on a second, let me flip this. And Let me see if I can find the player's handbook real quick. I moved it. Yeah, where was it? Right, it's in here. Should be. There we go. There we go. Put that back. Or the full elf entry. Make sure we got everything. I really like JSIC for it, but it doesn't always have all the information. Like it didn't have our sub-races or heritages. That's what we're changing over to. Alright. Alright, 30 speed, dark vision, keen senses, fate, ancestry, trance. I don't want to do drow, I know that for sure. Can you do high elf or wood elf? Wood elves are faster, right? So that's fun. They also have the Mass of the Wild, which is really nice. Especially since we're doing sort of a hex crawl adventure, that would be really useful abilities, because we're going to be moving through all sorts of places where there's going to be light obscurement from foliage and rain and snow and all that, and mist, right? It'll make hiding extremely easy, especially in a hex crawl world where there will be the potential to come across, monsters and enemies that are significantly more powerful, that are not fightable challenges at whatever level we're going to be at when we come across them. What about high elf? Man, weapon training. Weapon training is okay, but our stats, we're probably not going to be a melee character with the 12 strain. I mean, we're gonna be a caster. I may use the Eldrin. Okay, is that in? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use the Eldrin variant. This is the right one. See, they've made changes to this website since I used it last. Because it used to have a whole bunch of the variations of different things they would tell me about. They may have all changed with the OGL debacle, though. That might be the problem. So I don't think I've used it to make a new character since that was happening. Okay. Because I believe there's one elf variant that gives you a cantrip. And it's like that'd be nice to have, but problem is that elf weapon training is just such a bad ability for us, because it would give us weapons we didn't have access to potentially through, but neither our dex or strength is going to be good enough to probably use those weapons, and that makes them kind of useless. And also at some point we'll just have magic and we'll just be using magic. So, man, yeah, I guess I'll take the wild elf. I think that just, or the wood elf, sorry, or wood elf. Perfect. All right, that answers it for us. Now we know. Let's look at the PHP real quick. They have 35. Oh no, there it is. Of course, it crossed the page. Having a cantrip would be super useful. Having an extra cantrip is always nice, especially with the versatility it gives you. Okay, but yeah, the rest of it. Well, I guess if you break it down, No, but I changed my mind. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go high elf. I didn't realize that the block continued on the other side. I'm blind. That's why. Just don't know what I'm looking at. Alright, so we're gonna switch that over. We are gonna be a high elf. Alright. Which is fine. Alright, so we're gonna go high elf, which means that we're gonna get long sword, short bow, long bow. I don't know why they do it that way. I do list it that way. It's certainly not in alphabetical order. Okay, so we get actually, I'll probably just LNS bow. LNS sword. There we go. Captured it. Antlers. Perfect. So we're gonna do a cantrip for the wizard spell list and the extra language. I think I'm gonna take Draconic. That's always a good. We're gonna have a magic user. It's a good magic-y language. Actually, because we may be tying this into the sage. We could also try it into the slaver too. So let's give him something weird. Let's give him like primordial, or whatever. The primordial is what elementals speak, right? I think so. So I think he or she, we don't know who they are yet. I think that will be it'll be a fun one. Maybe we'll tie that in with the sage. So we get our extra language, and we have a cantrip. Okay, we've got a cantrip. And wizard is our casting, so that kind of leans us more towards wizard, but I think it would be fine to be a charisma caster as well. Though I am leaning more towards wizard, I think. Just because there's an opportunity, especially doing hex crawls, that a lot of the treasure we're might encounter may be scrolls. And scrolls treasures are best used by wizards, right? Because they can copy those spells. And so that one scroll then turns into a forever spell, which is a great way to give them some versatility. So maybe we'll do that. Oh, we need. That's what we're doing. That's what I was doing. Spells. Alright, so we need a wizard cantrip. Got a few. Got a few to choose from. I mean, technically, we could go for Spell Slinger. We can do a Blade Singer, which is very cool flavor-wise, but they tend to not be very good characters because they still don't have the toughness to be in combat if they're a wizard. But we're just looking for the next one right now. I don't think whatever class we choose is going to be particularly martially inclined. So unfortunately, those bow and swords proficiencies are basically lost on us, as they are on a lot of elf creatures. Unfortunately, a lot of elf player characters, because usually they're chosen dex based, and they are already using a class that would give them access to a bow, probably. What is good? I want sort of a versatility. And Mold Earth is always a really great versatility spell, as is Minor Illusion. I have a sorcerer with Minor Illusion that uses all the time. It's very fun. Light. Firebolt, Control Flames, Dancing Lights is really good. Friends, ooh, might take Friends. But then they'll become hostile no matter what, right? Message is fun, but it's hijinks mainly. Station. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any ideas? You know what? Maybe I'll come back to that. So I'm just gonna leave it blank for right now because I can always come back to that once I have a better idea. If we know what sort of class this person's going to be angling for. All right, so we've got our high elf. Got their sort of thing picked out. We need to assign their ability, so we could do +2 and +1, or the +1 +1 +1. All right, so I think we gotta go with +2. It's either gonna be an intelligence or charisma. I mean, charisma opens up a lot of classes, right? Most of the casters. The versatility of a wizard's really nice, even though intelligence is definitely the 5e dump stat. I mean, technically, we could do artificer. I haven't played an artificer. I don't think actually. Yeah, so let's do intelligence base, and then I'll think about artificer. If we like artificer, I'll go with artificer. If we're not don't gel with it, then we can always fall back on wizard. So we'll take this intelligence to 16. Okay. And then we're gonna have a +1. Well, we've only got one odd number here, which we could bump up. And having Constitution is always nice. Because it's the only thing that's going to change. Alright, so we're going to bump that up. We're going to get Constitution 14. Alright, we shouldn't have anything else that alters our stats. So we'll go ahead and then +1, +1, +2, coveted, +3, -1 on our wisdom. And +2. Okay. We know that we're going to be trained in perception already. Alright. So our background. What should our background be? Typically I'm inclined to just make custom backgrounds because it's, 2 skills and 2 languages and or tools. We still don't know if this person's going to be local. Well, I think I like the tie-in with the sage. If we're going to build, regardless if we're building an artificer or a wizard, I think that maybe they are in touch with the sage. So I think it makes sense to take a background that's sort of like that. That has that. I mean, we can look at the D&D Beyond ones, right? Real quick. For some inspiration. Want to kind of go through these. Any thoughts? You guys have any thoughts about that? Charlatan is fun. I'm already playing Charlatan though in another game. Probably not going here. Cloistered Scholar definitely makes sense. So that's definitely, I feel like, on the short list. Let's go ahead. Let's add that to the list. Okay, so potential backgrounds. So we've got Cloistered Scholar. Maybe a little sheltered that could go with the perception thing. That'd be kind of nice. What else we got? All right. Entertainer. It could be interesting, but I don't think so. Faction agent? We could do faction agent maybe. We had a, a faction. And I don't think we're gonna do far traveler. I don't think far traveler makes sense. Fisher, probably not. Folk heroes always a nice one. Um, that can be a fun one. Do you like folk hero? Hmm, probably not a hermit or haunted one or anything like that. Inheritor could be interesting, but this is kind of a small village, so I'm not sure if that makes sense. But if they're not from here, maybe that could be whatever the nearby big city is. Inheritor. Knight? Ooh, Noble's always a good one. I do like Noble, the Noble background. And I like the Knight variant as well. The way you went Artificer, that could be very interesting. So let's put that in there. Marine. So we definitely talked about Noble. Probably not Outlander. No, Sage makes sense, right? Why not a smuggler, a soldier, a spy, bounty hunter, urchins? No, I think that's it. Huh. They kind of jump out at me. If you have any ideas, just drop them in the chat. Something you see something that jumps out at you. Gladiator, yeah. Though Gladiator Wizard would be very interesting to play as a character. I don't think this is probably the campaign for that character. A Wilderness Hex Scroll is probably not for that character, but it would be fun as a fun character idea. All right, I think that's it. All right, so we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are pretty good. I think any of these will work. And when in doubt, we'll roll the dice, and if I don't like it, I'll roll again. 6, Sage. Okay. Alright. I have no problems with Sage. Alright, so we're gonna go with Sage background. There's some basic rules. So we get trainings in Arcana and History. To go with our perception that we got, being an elf. And I get 2 languages of my choice. Well, we talked about Draconic earlier, so I'll go ahead and put that on then. Sylvan, maybe? I think I'm going to do dwarf, and I think that fits with the maybe the primordial more. Or I could do something weird like undercommon. Or giant. Giant's always fun. I like to take giant. I think I'm going to do undercommon. It just seems like a weird thing that maybe a character like a sage would pick up and be able to speak, just for some reason. Alright, so the way that I've set this up is that we can either take what comes from the equipment that we get from the background, or the one that I looked at was 4d4, which I think is the lowest class roll for straight cash. And we use that to buy our equipment. So this already comes with 10 gold. So I think just to tip luck in our favor, we'll roll 4d4, and if we get more than 10, because most of this stuff is I don't really need the quill and the bottle of black ink and small knife. They give me all the things to write except for the paper on which to write it, which is weird. Yeah, so let's roll our 44 and let's just see if we get higher than that, because we can probably. We did not. Wow, that's a sickly roll. That is. Ugh. Yeah, I think we'll go with background. Because that's going to give us, right out the gate, 10. Which was more than we were going to get anyways. Lots of stuff. So we've got ink. A quill. We have, indeed, not just a small knife, but in fact a pen knife. Letter from dead colleague. Alright. And a voucher. Okay, perfect. And I think we should also get a trinket. I like the 5e trinkets. I think actually we got some trinkets in here. Let's see. Want an interesting trinket, or you know what? Let's do both. Okay. A mouse skull that floats when placed over a fire. Let's see mysterious trinkets. I actually really like the teapot. I think that really works with maybe the sage character. Like, that they have a magical teapot, which is essentially what that is. But whistles sadly if it's ever alone. That's the problem, though. Is that's just gonna work for sneaking around dungeons. But I do like a teapot that's always full and piping hot. That's a cool, just little magic item. So maybe it's gonna be. Because it would like slush around in your pack, right? Like, what are you supposed to do with this teapot? Because in a lot of ways, it's sort of like a decanter of endless water, but tea? So I think maybe instead it's like its own sort of cup with a lid. And maybe it's like a porcelain kind of thing. Or, no, I like the teapot aspect. I like the teapot better than a cup. But I'm just gonna say, like, there's some sort of activation to make the teapot full. Because otherwise, I will spend the entire campaign thinking about tea just soaking through my pack. Soaking through this character's pack all the time. And just ruining everything you put in the pack. So I think it's just going to be a default, but there's an activation for it. But it does make survival significantly easier, right? We're not going to have to worry about water at least. Okay. Okay. Nice. I like that. All right. So let's buy some. Let's buy some gear. All right. Need some adventuring gear, right? Now, basically, we get access to the wizard's proficiencies as far as tools go, and then I'll also. I mean, it's really dumb, right? The wizard weapon proficiencies are awful. And the commoner stat block uses a club and is proficient in a club, meaning that certainly everybody. The whole point of simple weapons is that everybody's supposed to basically be able to use them. So it makes. But I mean, we're probably gonna have to use. We're gonna have to use Dex. Well, I mean, we could use Strength or Dex, I suppose. Anyways, let's buy some stuff. So I think I'm gonna go with a quarterstaff. So, there we go. So let's spend some money. So we're gonna get a. There we go. Freaked out there for a second. Accidentally minimized everything. Alright. So I think we're gonna get a quarterstaff. And that costs us 2 silver, right? And let's buy a sling. There's really basically no reason every character shouldn't have a sling. It's a free ranged weapon, basically, that uses rocks. So it's a super useful and super cheap thing. And it's one of my favorites, and I wish it got used more. So I think that's it. I don't really want to spend money on anything else as far as weapons go. Probably not going to buy any armor because whatever class we're going to go into probably is going to use that armor, and we won't have proficiency with it. So let's just get some adventuring gear. Alright, obviously we're going to need a pack to hold all the crap. Back. Or I guess we could buy a kit, right? Kits are in here. Equipment packs. Ooh. Alright, so we could. So we have exactly 10, so we can just get the Explorer's Pack. But if we do that, we're not going to have any money left over to buy our weapons. That kind of makes sense, though. Oh, so maybe that one cantrip we have is going to be an attack spell, right? We'll use improvised weapons, I guess. That's fine. So yeah, we're just gonna take the Explorer's Pack. So that's gonna give us I don't need to write all of that down right now. But we just need to know that we have a source pack. Perfect. Alright, so let's choose our wizard cantrip. Yep, that's right down here. So we got Sage, and we'll figure out the letter from the dead colleague here in a minute. That'll be a good thing. I think it's going to be probably the thing that's bringing us into the area. So we have a reason for them showing up. He's probably showing up to talk to the other Sage. Maybe we're going to try to find out what happened to our dead colleague. Why they're dead. That seems like a pretty good reason to go talk to somebody and travel out to the middle of nowhere. Okay, so let's choose our boom. So it definitely seems like we want a something that's going to give us, like, that would be the reason why you wouldn't. They're going to have their pen knife on them, which, I mean, like, isn't really a weapon, but it's certainly an improvised weapon. Actually, we'll just go ahead and I would say that they get their +1. I don't think, because they're not going to be proficient in that. And then the pen knife's just going to do 2 damage, because it does 1 for improvised weapon, and then it's going to do 1 from our strength and or dexterity. So it's always just going to do 2 damage. So definitely we want to be using spells, it seems like, because we're going to be a lot better at that, and we're going to be proficient in it too. And proficiency, of course, at this level is going to be +1, I guess. Well, no, it's because you get that proficiency regardless of. So yeah, I think it makes sense that even though we're potentially a 0 level character, our proficiency, we're still proficient in something, we still get that bonus. I don't think that bonus goes down. Should go down necessarily, because everything we're getting isn't tied to that class, tied to having a class. Like when the commoners have, the monster has proficiency in something, even if they're a 0 level creature, they still get the +2. Infestation's kind of fun, but it does poison damage and it's a con save, so it's not a very useful one. Firebolt is always a real good go-to. 120 feet, does good damage. It's fire. Classic, right? It's a classic. Maybe our best choice, because we do need something to defend ourselves. And unfortunately, most things that have poison or venom and bites are immune to poison, which is a lot of wild animals that we might come across. A lot of low-level monsters, especially. We don't want anything that's going to bring them closer. Hopefully running away. Frostbite slows somebody, right? Yeah, but it's still a con. Oh no, it doesn't. What's the one that slows? Oh, it's Ray Frost, isn't it? So Ray Frost seems like a thing that they might have. Toll the Dead, of course, is a classic one. But I think I'm gonna go with Firebolt. I think it just makes sense, since we don't have. If we're doing a 0 level character, then they're gonna have this. So they're gonna have Firebolt. Cantrip. There we go. Firebolt cantrip. Perfect. Alright. So we've done that sort of setup. Firebolt. We should walk away. Because it is a ranged spell attack. Okay. So I'm going to add that to the side block as well. Okay, so it's Firebolt. Yeah, because we're significantly better at this, right? So So it's +5 because they use intelligence to determine that. And then Firebolt is 1d10, right? And it can ignite things, which is always nice. Yeah, I could have used Create Bonfire. That was the other one I was just thinking about. But I think I'm gonna stick with Firebolt. Just go with the all reliable, right? But now we can kind of fill in some of these other things. So we know that our max hit points are gonna be 8 because we have our hit dice is 1d6 plus 2 per con. Because that, while most medium creatures have 8, and most classes have 8, and the 0 level commoner has 8, if we decide to go into wizards only have a d6 hit die. So we would actually end up sort of losing hit points if we went from a d8 to a d6 probably. And that's not what we want. So yeah, so they're going to have that many hit points, which is how many hit points they'd have at first level, which is fine. But yeah, I think this is a 0 level character. So we're going to put 0 right here. Go ahead and do it. So get the red fiend in there. There we go. Did it. Alright, so we know their speed. Their speed is 30 because we just going with the high elf. Their initiative bonus is +1. And their armor class is going to be 11. Very squishy. Very squishy. That's okay. But we also know, trained in perception, our wisdom's a -1, so our passive perception is 11. Not great. That's okay. Let's see, is there anything else that we need to fill out right now on the sheet itself? Not really. Okay. We'll figure out a name in a minute, but we need to figure out. So we've got our backgrounds done. We figured out, are they local? No. They're coming here specifically. No. Coming. They are going to speak with the sage. The sage. About the deceased colleague. Okay. Perfect. So we are from somewhere else. Where is that place? We don't know yet. We might figure that out. I think we're going to play for a little bit because we don't have any big cities or anything around us that we know about yet, so I don't have a place to sort of pin them down or where they might have been studying, where these guys are educated at. So I think the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to do the Xanthar's Guide. This is your life. We're going to go through that to build up some people around him. But we can already do one, right? So we can go ahead and start our NPCs and our threads. So we have unanswered question. Sorry, it should be unanswered question from deceased colleague. Right, letter from the colleague. which has an answer that we did not provide an answer to that. That's what that is. And we also want to know, hey, what happened to our dead colleague? So we already know the sage. So we're gonna add him. We don't have a name for him yet. Him or her. We don't know anything about this character yet. So we are going to do that. Perfect. So we'll figure out more about them, but we know that there's a connection between them, right? And that's that dead colleague. So we're gonna jump in and do the Xanthar's Guide to Everything. We're gonna do that. Quick. Let's this is your life, and we're gonna start on that in just a minute. I'm gonna take just a very short break, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat or anything. Give a follow. Check out the links below. Right. Check me out on Twitter or go to the website. Website's got a ton of blogs you can check out that has lots of great information about how to run your own solo RPG, how to, upgrade your DM craft, just play better games basically. So I'm gonna step away. I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, thanks for hanging out. I'm back. Myself a nice drink of water. Let's go ahead and jump into this Xanthar's Guide questions. Okay. Alright, so let's do our appearance. I don't think we need J6 cards anymore, so we'll go ahead and knock that out. Knock these character records out. Alright. So yeah, let's do the D100 for our parents. Hey, what do you know? We know who our parents are. Look at us. Alright. So we know the parents. Yes, let me move that right here. We can kind of look at both of them. Let's see. Alright. What's our birthplace at? '52. Okay, home of a family friend. I feel like the birthplace doesn't really tie in too much. Unless you get one of the weird ones. Right? If you're like born in a carriage, well, there's probably a story behind that. Why were you in a carriage? Same thing with like a battlefield, or a temple, or aboard a ship, or in the Feywild. When it's like you were born at home, or you were born at a midwife's. Okay. Cool. It's just not very super useful information as far as like building a character. Alright, number of siblings. Here we go. Oh, okay, 2 or lower. None, only child. Good to know. Only child. Interesting. So, obviously we don't need to know the birth order. Okay, and family. Let's find out who raised us. I feel like it's almost never mother and father, right? 25% of the time you come from just a basic home, which I feel like is really high, especially when so many characters are supposed to know who their parents are. All right, let's figure it out. 42. Single father or stepfather. All right, let's I don't like those entries because they're like, is it a mother? Is it like your mother and your stepfather, or just your single father, or is it your single stepfather like your mother is dead? I feel like it doesn't make it very clear. So yeah, all right. So I think let's see if both of them. I guess we don't know. I think there's another table we can roll on to find out their status, right? All right. So moving with mother and stepfather, at least for now, until we find out if they're alive or not. All right, 3d6 for our lifestyle. 15, pretty good, comfortable. A comfortable lifestyle. We get plus 10 to our next roll for a childhood home. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So that's literally a 4 to 14. So a run-down shack. What? So we were living comfortably in a run-down shack? What is that? Is that like upper slum. I think it's worse than upper slum. I think we roll again. Not really sure how to parse that. Okay, so a 29 becomes a 39. Encampment or village in the wilderness. Alright, so that's an interesting one. Encampment or village? Uh, mm, yeah, I like the village in the wilderness. I think that's a cool one. It feels very elf, right? Just chilling out in the middle of a forest somewhere. Then obviously they went to their village and went, or were tutored by a sage and brought into that world. Okay, cool. Childhood memories. 8. Plus our charisma mod, which is 2. So 10. Few close friends. Okay. Middle of the road, basically. Like, okay, you had friends when you were a kid, right? So that's really, that doesn't bring any drama to the story, so we don't really need to write that down. Oh, alright, with personal decisions, why they became for our background, alright? Well, we know our background's a sageman, so that should be in here. Yeah. Alright. And then I'll roll, and if I don't like what I roll, I will make something up, right? Make something up that's not on here. 6. One of my parents or relative gave me a basic education, whetted my appetite, and were left home to build on what I had learned. Is that our father that's out of the picture? I think so. And then we'll find out the fate of our father, right? We jumped over that. I need to go back and do that. Father. Nation. And witted. Whatted. And appetite. Or learning. Okay, yeah. Gave them basically exceptionally curious, right? Perfect. Alright, let's go back and do the we got the father. So let's go and have to our father real quick. Because we got an absent parent. Let's roll off. 3. Ooh. Parent abandoned you. So her father taught us these things and then left. So father left. Alright, well. Alright, so. Alright, well, that's definitely getting added to our NPCs down here. So, father's out there somewhere. Could be dead, right? We don't know. It's kind of MIA. So we'll go ahead and put MIA there. He's out of the picture. So we have our stepfather. And we have our mother. At least for now. They might also be not alive. Alright, so we know that. And we don't know what class we're going to be yet. Alright, life events. Ooh, how old are we? I think as an elf. How many injuries are here? I think rather than rolling, I think we can just roll. Right, I mean, we're an elf, we can be old. That's fine. 62, so we're, in our 30s. We're in our 30s and we've had 1d6 life events. our life events. We get a d6 of those. I'm hoping that we roll high. I want quite a few life events if we're gonna be 60. I also want to do 2d3 rather than 1d6. Let's see. Roll high on the 6 and then we'll worry about it. If not, I'll roll the other one. I did not roll high. I did roll high on that one. So if we were doing 2d3, that would be 1. This would be 3, so 4. So we're gonna have 4 life events. Some slots for those. And then let's find out what those are. And I think that these will be chronological. Hopefully, those will make sense if we do them chronological. You know, they may give us more money. That does happen. Yep. Just immediately. Spend time working a job related to your background, get an extra 2d6. Alright? Let's figure out how much gold we got real quick. 2d6. Oh, 10 bucks. So actually that may change if we got... I'm getting ahead of myself, but alright. So, only because we get those equipment packs, and there are definitely more options once we have 20 gold. Right? We can get the priest pack. That doesn't really help us, but the Dungeoneers pack is probably better than our Explorers pack. Or we can get the Burglars pack. And we should have got more. Well, we might still get more. So let's keep this open. So we got plus... So we'll just save that total for now. We got plus 10 GP. Or we can pick up some extra items that aren't on that. That'd be fun. Kind of give us some extra starting loot. Extra starting gear. Wait, we can finally get weapons. That'd be nice. Alright. Here we go. Let's roll another. $54? Yeah, okay. So, we worked as sage. And how much money do we get worked as a sage? Another 7. And, right, we have a not super young adventurer. Young for elves, but still, like, as far as you consider, like, human adventurers, right? Kind of experienced. You know, kind of has had almost a full work life. No, we're 30, we're not 60. I keep thinking we're 60. No, as 30s, so, I mean, they've been working as a sage for a while. We know that. I rolled another 66. Okay, we know what that means. Let's roll another 2d6. Yeah, we've had a full working life, another 7. So we're actually starting with quite a bit of money, actually, as a sage. I was really hoping maybe to get something else. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. 26, finally. Fell in love or got married? Is the adventurer married? Or was married? He's right. Our character's somewhat charismatic, right? It makes sense that they, you know, maybe had sort of a quick love affair. I don't necessarily want to tie into marital or extramarital stuff, so I'm gonna roll our d10, right? 80%. If we roll a 9 or a 10, then they were married. If not, it's just love interest. Okay, so just love interest. So they had sort of like a, let's say maybe like an on and off love interest. And love. time lover. I'm already getting a nice stable of NPCs. Alright, now do we want to swap out one of these? Alright, so that would essentially give us 34 starting gold, so let's look and see if that's even worthwhile. It doesn't get us to the Diplomat's pack, which is the one that I was thinking maybe we would take. It's not enough money to get there. And we don't really need to buy a bunch of weapons and armor, so we've got some stuff, some extra adventuring gear we can buy, but that's a bunch of gold to do that, and I think I'd like to re-roll one of them. I'll choose, you know, roll a d3 to see which one. Okay, so that would be this one. So we're gonna re-roll this last guy. So something changed. Okay, 32. Made an enemy of an adventurer. Nice. Much better. Alright, well, that was a little bit more complicated, so let's go ahead and roll and find out what our last life event is. 90. Fought in a battle. Wow. Okay. Whoa, yeah, so, man, like, life looks like it took a real left turn for our character, which is great, right? That's the impetus for adventure. Okay. Fought in the war. Fought in the war, yet still sucks at weapons? Apparently can't use any weapons. Actually, would that allow them? You know what? I'm willing to give them perhaps some armor proficiency, because we've got that whole short sword, long sword thing that we're just never going to use. We could wear some armor. That would be nice. Let me think about that. Alright, so we made an enemy of adventure. Let's jump like that. Roll a d6. Oh, notice that you're the blame for the rift. We're not. Okay. Alright, so we are blameless. Let's put that in the little brackets there. Okay. Let's find out some more about these life events. Well, we didn't go adventure, we done crimes, we didn't do any punishments. Oh, there was the war table. Alright, 1d12. Green. Oh, badly injured in the fight. And still bear the awful scars. Oh man, this character took a real left turn because we did that reroll. That's really great. I really like that. So badly scarred, right? Wow. Okay. Should we figure out where we've been scarred? Right, there's a way to do that. Man. I feel like there's a rule table for that. Okay, yeah. So we'll use this one right here. Damage by body part, Nicholas Burke. One head. Terribly scarred on the head. Alright, let's just use our Oracle dice. Okay, so we know we've got a head scar. Are we missing something? So if we get 13 or greater, it's definitely a yes. Okay, so definitely a no. So we're not missing anything. We're just got a really gnarly scar. What type of damage is it? Is it BSP? Was it weapon damage? So that's definitely in the yes camp. Technically, it's DC's benefit and or but. So yes. So yeah, we have this terrible scar, but it makes us look tough. Right? It makes you look super tough. I like that. They're gonna be tough. Makes them intimidating. So is it a face or a head? Like maybe it's a nasty cut like across the head or something. You can like see through the hair. Is it that? No. Alright, so it's on the face. So I mean they're scarred but in sort of like a machismo attractive way, which is kinda interesting for an elf, but cool. It just makes them look tough. Okay. Very cool. Alright. I don't really care about the alignment of our character. We do have a D100 class, which, of course, is an old table, so the Artificer's not in there. 40. Alright, so we pissed off a fighter. And let's see, okay. 21. Yep. Alright. So we got a human. Well, we already know the relationship. Right, they don't like us. What's the status of them? Oh, it could be interesting if they were dead. Hunting us. Ugh. That'd be grisly. 12. 11 well. Okay. See, I wish this status table was actually at the front, so we could find out, like, you roll on our parents and be like, oh, are they dead or not? Alright, so, but, unfortunately, person who doesn't like that, they are alive and well. Okay. So, we got some other NPCs down here. We've got our bad blood human fighter. And, a real nasty sort of like, I'm guessing it's like a sword slash or something across our face. We don't have anything else. That. So let's do the status of some of our other guys. Well, right now we just want to know. I guess we just want to know whether these people are alive or not. So let's. I think our father's MIA, so I don't think we're gonna roll for that. I think that's something we'll find out later. I think we're gonna have some sort of story thread attached to them, and so I think we'll leave it as MIA for right now. We don't know if they're alive or dead. What about our stepfather though? 10. I'm well. Okay. I'm well. Dearest mother, how is Mama dearest? Mama is 8. he's doing fine, so she's doing poorly. So maybe she's ill? Sickly mother? Ooh, yep. Let's go with sickly. I like that better than just injury. What about our bow? 8. Also doing poorly. Let's just roll a D3 for that. Why? Okay. They're having relationship difficulties. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yikes. Oh, we already know our bad blood is like one. Unfortunately. So what do our parents do? We'll use sort of our last sort of stopping place there. 82. Bureaucrat. Interesting. I mean, we know what the sage does. The sage is a sage. So our father is a bureaucrat. Or they were a bureaucrat. Interesting that we grew up in a village then. Oh, but that's not necessarily right. That could have happened later. That could have happened after father was out of the picture that they moved. Maybe. We'll find out. Alright, what's stepfather doing? 68. Merchant, okay. Does our mother do anything? Merchant, and it seems kind of weird to have a farmer or a herder with a merchant. So I think she's just going to be sort of a stay-at-home parent, I think, right? She manages the household. Which is weird because didn't we... Oh, right, we decided not to go with the living on the streets almost. Okay, so not a rich man by any means. Doesn't really do any sort of specific business other than the affairs of managing the household. Long time lover do anything. 34. Entertainer. Got it. You can see how the entertainer. Yeah, well, we know what the human fighter does. They fight. Alright, so we have more information, and I'll probably develop those off camera where we talk about and kind of weave this into a backstory and bring it back so you guys can kind of see, and then we can kind of look at like the elements versus what it turns into. So I think we know if we're doing level 1 or 0, we're gonna do 0. We did our history. We're still trying to get equipped, I guess. Let's see. We're gonna save. I think we're gonna save the sidekick for next time. We're already an hour and a half in. I'm not sure I'm gonna jump. Well, at least maybe figure it out. Maybe we can't figure it out. We still got some other questions to get through first. So we also have these other. I like to use these other world building questions, and I use those for campaigns that I run. A tendency. Because I want to be able to have strong backstories for the characters, and these are questions that help us get those strong backstories, especially when you work with the Xanathar's Guide to Everything tables, right? We have multiple NPCs that are tied to our character that they care about, and they have multiple threads going on. We'll probably add some more threads later as well for these NPCs as we figure out things about them. But let's answer... Actually, let's spend our cash first. Let's spend our cash, and then we'll... Okay, so we essentially start with 27 gold. So So for 27 gold, we cannot get... We can get the Dungeoneer's pack. We could get the Priest pack, I don't know what we'd wanted. Can't get the Scholars or Diplomats packs, which are the ones that we actually kind of need, or would be nice to have. So we basically can get the Explorer's pack, the Dungeoneer's pack, or the Burglar's pack. I don't think the Burglar's pack is going to do anything for us. I'm torn because practicality, I'd rather have the Dungeoneer's pack, but I don't think there's any reason, what we know about this character right now, why they would have something like a crowbar with them while they were traveling. Oh hey, I'm doing great, how are you? Extraterrestrial Goth. So we're setting up a character for a D&D solo RPG hex crawl thing that I'm doing. And we're kind of we're going to play as a 0 level character. So that's what we're doing right now, kind of putting the finishing touches on it. So we've got some money from the background that we're trying to spend. And then we're going to get nearly done. How are you doing? Have you played a solo RPG before, or even D&D before? Or is this all completely Greek to you? So if you have any questions or anything like that about what we're doing or what we're going on, just let me know. And I'll answer them to the best of my ability. That's sort of where we're at right now. So I think I'm gonna stay with the Explorer's pack. So it's just gonna give us an extra 17 gold that we can kind of spend on stuff. What would we have? Well, we can cast a spell, so I think we'd have an Arcane Focus. That would take... well, we've also got the staff, so we'll take the staff. That'll serve as our quarterstaff and our... Let's get our equipment. So that's a 5 GP staff. We got backpacks, we got all this good stuff that's in there. So... yeah, I think he'd have like a scroll case for sure. Because he is carrying a letter with him. He's gonna have clothes already. I don't think he'd have fishing tackle. Flask or tankard? Probably not. Probably just the water skin. Certainly wouldn't have any of these that are down here. No holy symbols or holy water. Probably don't need an hourglass or a hunting trap. We can buy some paper since apparently our background didn't give us paper, just the pen and ink to write with. But no actual paper. Do we have enough to get a book? No, certainly not. You get a magnifying glass. So yeah, I think we'll probably buy some paper. We'll buy 5 sheets of paper, I guess. That's probably enough to start with. So that'll give us 1 gold piece. Let's see, mess kit. Do they have a mirror? I don't think you probably have a mirror. No, we're not gonna have a pot or iron or anything of this stuff. I think we have a pretty low wisdom. We actually have a negative wisdom modifier. We can show you that real quick. Character that we're building. We actually have a negative wisdom modifier. So I don't think that he'd have a lot of that me as a D&D player would be like, oh, I want this and this and this and this, because these are sort of useful things for dungeon exploration and wilderness survival. I don't think that that's the intent of this character where he's at right now, and that would not be things that he would think to buy for himself. So I don't think that he's going to have most of this stuff. So he may just have some cash. Probably sealing wax. Because I don't think sealing wax actually comes with a thing, does it? No. Alright, so let's get some sealing wax. We'll get ourselves 2 things of it, just to make it easy. Well, actually, there's no use because it doesn't actually use anything. This is actually going to be 5 silver pieces for sealing wax. A sack, a shovel, a signal. So, I mean, I guess maybe I don't. And I think just an extra water skin. I'd like to buy an extra water skin when I can. Alright, so that puts us at, let's see, we spent 7 of our gold. Alright, so we're gonna have 10 gold left over. Or 9, technically, 9 gold and 3 silver pieces. Okay, 9 gold and 3 silver pieces. So we also got this. So we're gonna make this a staff, right? And everybody can use the staff, so we don't have to worry about that. So it's a D6 or a D8. So I don't know why he would ever be using it one-handed, so I'll just put the two-handed down. +1. Okay, good. Nice. Alright. So let's put our other junk up here. Alright, so I got the staff. Scroll case. Paper. Put 5. Get the ink. Sealing wax, yeah. That's one of the things they also didn't give us. Inks, wax, sealing wax. Perfect. And an extra water skin. Extra water skin. Because that's just a good thing to have with you. Being able to make sure that you have 2 days of water instead of 1 day of water with you. And then the sports pack comes with rations, so we don't need to worry about that. So we're going to have a little extra walking around money, which will be useful as we get in town. So we can actually buy some of the things we need when we need them. Which is going to be very useful since we're playing as a 0 level character, I think. Yeah, I don't see any reason why we would bump up to Wizard at this point. So I think we're just going to stay Wizard or Artificer because I still haven't decided yet. Alright, so that's our 0 level. We've got our stuff. So let's answer our questions here. Here's your building questions. Alright, so who are your family and close friends? Alright, so we know. Right. Mother. Sickly mother. Yeah, I guess I guess I'll just say MIA father. Do we have any close friends? I think probably the fighter was a friend. Obviously we have a lover, right? On and off. Lover, bad blood between adventurer friend. Which is probably the person who sort of coaxed them into doing it, and then maybe they didn't do it, or we still don't know why they're upset with each other. I'm gonna have to think about that for a little bit. I'll probably roll off camera because I didn't bring the papers in here to do a little oracle roll for that, but I'll do that. So that way we'll have all that stuff set up for our first adventure. Alright, rivals or enemies? I mean, I think our bad blood adventurer friend is a friend is now a rival. Oh yeah, close friends. So we had our dead sage, right? We have our dead colleague. Oh, we don't know. We could use that. Do we want to know how the colleague died? So we know we know the colleague is dead. It says very specifically that it's dead. But if we're going there to figure out what happened, do we know? I mean, let's... Like the... Yeah, there could still be some mystery behind it. Let's see if we roll something we like. 8. Apparent suicide. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna add that down here as well. Apparent suicide. But maybe they didn't fit the description of somebody who was at risk for committing suicide. Right? Do we have any other people that we want to use as a rival or enemy right now? I don't think so. We already come out real strong with the adventurer rival, and I don't think we have necessarily... Our father left us, right? Abandoned us. But I don't think... Because they still enjoy... They got so much value out of that relationship already that kind of set them on a life path that I don't think that they're... I don't think they see them as an enemy. Especially because one of our threads is just... Or we don't have a thread for Father Dearest yet. But we might later. So I don't think that is a rival or enemy. Alright, so what were you doing before you became an adventurer? Well, we can tell we were working as a sage. Where? Where? Oh my gosh. Is unknown. I'll put that in there so we make sure. So we were working as a sage. I think, let's go from the PHP. I think in the PHP, in the actual Sage, grounds. There we go. I think it actually gives us some ideas about, because I don't typically use these roll tables for their ideals and stuff, but it probably gives us, right, we get that specialty, which is what I'm looking for. I don't necessarily like the ideal bonds and flaws and traits system. I've never really liked it in 5e. I'd like to use these questions instead. It gives me a much better idea about who this character is. Okay, let's roll one of these and see if it jumps off the page at us. It's a D8. 3, discredited academic. Oh, yes, love it. Yeah. Discredited academic. Oh, maybe this has something to do with the bad blood with our adventurer. Maybe that discrediting. What about our dead one? What did our dead one do? What did our dead colleague do? They were a librarian. Ooh, interesting. And what's the one we're going to see? Another discredited academic. Okay. Interesting. Okay, we could do something with that, maybe. So, the sage is also a discredited. So maybe we're the ones who know something's up. Right. Nobody listened to us. But they'll listen now. Yeah, and our wizard's just gonna be evil, apparently. Just gonna walk straight down that path. Oh, and our what am I looking for? So our deceased colleague was a librarian. I guess with whatever organization we're collected to. Well, we'll need to figure that out because we don't have a school or anything, and none of our stuff necessarily says professor or any other sort of thing. I mean, I guess we're discredited academics, so we were something, researchers or wizard's apprentice is just on there. So we're just magical apprentices. I mean, if it fits, right? Sometimes the easiest thing is the best thing. All right, so Dead Sage, and what are we doing for that? We already chose our background. So yeah, we're discredited. Why do we leave? Yeah, well, we got freaking discredited. We're disgraced and discredited. And so, maybe he's a little bit older, right? Our elf is in his 30s, so he's been around the block a little bit. So there's a chance that he worked as a sage, he got discredited, he tried to become an adventurer, that led to that bad beef with the human fighter. Maybe there's something that happened to other adventurers, maybe they were part of the party together. And then he was doing, like, mercenary work, fighting in the war. I mean, he is able to cast at least an offensive spell. Right, so I mean, he could be in some sort of magical artillery. Oh, maybe he was like instead of being in the party with the human fighter, maybe he was like a hireling, or they came to him as like a researcher to learn information about a creature, and maybe they got killed or something. Right, but he gave them the right information. There was something wrong with it, right? Because he's blameless in the situation. We know he's blameless. But that gives us a lot of fuel to work with. Okay. Yeah, we were disgraced and discredited, and so I think he just kind of made the rounds, and then he got this letter. He's just doing sort of odd jobs as a sage, which seems weird, but maybe he tutors kids and stuff like that to make bread. All right, what are you running from or chasing after? I mean, I think right now we're immediately chasing after whatever happened to what happened to the dead sage, the dead librarian, and why it's tied to discredit. So I think we're trying to resolve and connections to discrediting, I think. Oh, very much so. So we know why we left. Okay, so what did we leave behind because of that? Chasing down to discredit this, what did we leave behind? So we're doing maybe mercenary work? Ooh, or are we still doing fighting? Doing odd jobs like that, venturing and that sort of thing. Were we already doing that? Or were we already left behind people we knew doing that? Let's just roll an oracle roll for that. No. So we definitely weren't doing adventuring. No, and because that's a 4, that's supposed to be a no and. No and has sworn off adventuring. So, no. Maybe it has sworn off adventuring. Maybe that's a thread. They sworn off adventuring. Hey, thanks for the follow. Great to see you. I'm doing great. How are you? We're working on making a D&D character for a solo RPG thing I'm running in the next few weeks. We're making a 0 level character, so it's a little interesting. But yeah, that's just sort of what we're doing. But if you have any questions or you just want to chat, jump in there. Ask what we're doing. Get the heads up. Tell me how you're doing. And as that chat loads, we'll keep on going here. So we're just kind of setting up the threads, answering some final questions about our character. All right, so we left because of that. Why did we leave behind because of it? So what did we leave behind? So we definitely didn't leave behind that. So we didn't leave behind adventuring. So I'm guessing that it has something to do with the war, or maybe what they were currently researching. Oh, man, I don't know what to do with that. I'm gonna let that one lie, I think, for right now, because the way that we set up. I mean, I guess the thing is that if it was the thing that was discrediting us, so I left behind, there's probably a cushy job, right? Cushy job. That's an academic. Right, so we had some sort of riff where we either lied or decided to tell the truth, and that when we didn't cow to peer pressure or to hide something or something like that, and that ended up with us getting discredited. So that's what we left behind. That's sort of our regret about that. All right, what's a vice or fear or secret that will get you in trouble? There's a lot of stuff going around about the discrediting, so I think I'm just going to keep rolling with that. The subject, which we still don't know yet. We'll still have to figure that out. The subject that discredited them. Interesting. Like if they bring it up, so it must be sort of. So is this? We're gonna just put this right here. So is it like a big taboo? Maybe they're doing like necromancy or something like that they were looking into. It's like, yeah, if you bring this up, it'll pretty much always get you in trouble. But it is sort of like a burning passion for them, whatever their research subject is. So what will we throw down for? I think that we'll throw down if somebody slanders one of their discredited fellow colleagues. Yeah, it's immediately throw down someone that talks their former colleagues. So I guess they're technically not working together right now. To the other sort of discredited academics. Because maybe there's actually quite a few of them. This may be the first stage we've visited, the first of many, maybe. And what would we die to protect? I certainly think our longtime lover, right? Will we do that for our bad blood fighter? Maybe. Like, because we understand that we didn't do anything wrong, so let's just do an oracle roll. Hi, yes. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'd absolutely. So we'll put our bad blood human fighter here. So even though they had a falling out, still cared deeply about that person. And we're bonded in whatever their bad blood is. And the good blood they had before that. So, regardless of the fact that they don't get along anymore, our character would still die to defend or protect them, which is very cool. All right, so those are basically our major character building things. So we've kind of gone through that quite a bit. So we have a lot to work with. Like I said, I'll clean this up and kind of put it into an actual backstory that we can probably read next time. But let's go ahead and do our sidekick. We're going to start off with a sidekick. Since we picked a class that is not optimized for doing much of a hex crawl, I think they're going to need some company. We took an intelligence-based character, right? Intelligence and charisma. So we need somebody that can do sort of the wisdom, or can do wisdom and is, maybe more handy and sort of professional skills. So I mean, that does lean towards warrior, which nice thing about warrior is it means that we don't have to pick something that can speak, which is really nice. It gives us a lot of options for creatures to pick. But what we really need, because we really need somebody to save our bacon right now, with 11 AC, 1 cantrip, attack cantrip, a staff, and 8 hit points, and no bonuses to any saving throws. We are, and not good perception. We need some help. So it definitely feels like what we need here is a skillful warrior or an expert that hits hard. So if we pick a real beefy expert that hits hard, well, let's see. What are the skills that we're going to get as wizard that we don't already have? Because that'll tell us how much skill help we'll need. Alright, so we're looking at wizard. So we only get 2, but we've already got Arcana and History. So we're probably going to take like Investigation and maybe Medicine? Maybe Medicine or Religion. Maybe that will help with, maybe that'll tie into our discrediting some. But yeah, we will need skill help specifically in wisdom-based skills. We need somebody with some decent wisdom. So maybe we'll take an expert. Let's take maybe an expert. But we need an expert that's also can take a punch, because we cannot. So it has to be a CR half or lower. So and if it's an expert, they've got to be able to talk. So let's just go Kobold Fight Club. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we got a filter, so we can't choose anything above half, so just go ahead and cut that off. And I feel like, I mean, let's leave it open. And I think we definitely need to go on that high, which should have just done this. Why I did that. So we're gonna want something that can talk, because we need that to be an expert. So we can go to Deep Gnome. That'll get us there. What else? Because I don't want to pick something that's too weird either. Oh, but a gnoll would be fun. A gnoll or a gnoll hunter would be fun. Or even a hobgoblin. Yeah, I mean, Scout makes the most sense, but Scouts kind of suck. Oh, but Thugs, aren't the Thugs really good? I mean, a scout really makes sense, but the scouts aren't very heavily armed. But nothing in the half category is. At least not off the bat, right? So I really wanted somebody who's got... Like the Hobgoblin, I think, has medium armor. Like, they're going to come out the gate pretty good. But they also like gnoll. Alright, let's see. Let me look at the stat blocks for notes. Let's look at that guy, and then Gnoll Hunter. That's just me, that guy. I need the Gnoll Hunter. Wait, how's this guy any different? High armor and shield. Oh, that guy actually sucks. 2 more hit points though. Nope, got the same amount of hit points. Speed. Wisdom's alright. They've got alright stats that way. Is high armor? No, high armor's still light, right? Pretty sure it's still light. I don't know. I do like gnolls, and I don't get to use them very often. And we're in the right environment. It all really leads me to just be like, just pick the gnoll. What's the difference between the gnoll and hunter? You get perception, stealth. Yeah, I guess we'll just use the gnoll as they come. Yeah, so we'll use this gnoll. It's already gonna give us a whole bunch of hit points. Alright, so yeah, we'll do that, and they can speak, right? They have a language. So I want them to be an expert, because I need those wisdom and physical skills. Because our wizard's just not going to be any good at them, and we're not going to get any more skills. So we're going to start off with the gnoll base, right? So it kind of has to come in. Well, I guess what are the bonus proficiencies? No, he's going to get 1 save. He's going to get a save. Dex, int, or charisma. So he gets light armor. He has weapons, so he's gonna get simple 5 skills of my choice. Nice. Simple weapons and 2 tools. Except for the longbow, which he already has access to, which is really good. Alright, so our skills, what do we... What skills we're gonna take? All right. Well, we kind of already know what our pre-wizard is gonna be. Our level 0, not quite yet a wizard. So we're definitely gonna take athletics, acrobatics, athletics. Next, I think they're gonna take perception, stealth, and survival. And 2 tools. Are they tools of any type, or do they have to be 2 tools of your choice? I'm trying to remember. Tools. Okay, so these are the tools. So these are all listed under tools, so I can have 2 of them for our gnoll. It's a gnoll expert, I should put that down. I like the herbalism kit. I like the herbalism kit or the alchemist kit supplies as they're able to. I guess that's more alchemist supplies because you're gonna need to do alchemy. You're gonna need to change things. You're gonna do some science to make healing potions when they have the opportunity to forage. So I'm gonna give them alchemist supplies. But I don't know. This doesn't really make sense for Arnold and sort of the skills that we've given him so far. He just seems very, very outdoorsy, very active. So I don't think maybe they would sit down to do that. I don't think cook's utensils make sense. So I'm going to give them thieves' tools because we need that too. Probably. So I'm going to give them thieves' tools, which makes sense. We got a skulker. I don't want to give him a poisoner's kit. Any ideas? Yeah. Let's see. I think. Maybe painter supplies? No, I'm gonna give him vehicles land. Well, we could find a reason for that to come up. I believe in us. So we were gonna give him thieves' tools. Land vehicles. Oh, that's not how you spell vehicles. There we go. What happens when you're typing and not looking at it? All right. So that's pretty much it. I mean, our helper is he's gonna get the help action. I think it's a bonus action. Right. That's what he gets. He's gonna get the extra proficiency. As a bonus action. Yeah, and that's it. That's all he gets to do, or all they get to do for the very beginning. So yeah, I think that puts us in a good spot. So obviously we need to add our gnoll too. Is this no part of that adventuring group or maybe another hireling? Actually, let's, because they're gonna have a sort of thing too, right? Well, clearly they would have done something before when it became an adventure, I would guess. So let's just roll just in case. See if something fun comes up. 56. Yeah, hunter. I 100% believe that our gnoll is a hunter. We didn't give him trapper stuff, but we could have given him trapper stuff, and it makes sense that they have survival and perception and stealth and athletics and acrobatics. Like, that all makes it land vehicles. But not so much the thieves' tools. So that's going to be... Right, I think they maybe did some second-hand work, or second-story work on the side. Paranormal expert was previously a hunter. And we can figure out how they sort of came together, because I don't think there's a table for that in here. I guess we could co-opt our life events table to kind of figure out what happens. So let's just roll a D100 on the life event. 61, which was we spent time working. So maybe he served as a guide before he was discredited, or maybe he's just serving as a guide. Right. So previously. Guide for our not yet wizard. Or artificer. I know. Okay. I think that's it. I think we're in a good spot, and we've been going almost 2.5 hours, closing in on that mark. So I think this is a good spot for me to sort of wrap things up. Stop looking at that. Let's just come over here to that chatting. There's anything else we need to talk about? So I think the plan for next Sunday is we're going to start off the adventure. I'm going to do some work. I'm going to do some work in this next week, putting an actual backstory together for the character. I may stream that earlier, or I may just wait and do it for the intro on Sunday, and we'll take a look at what the stat blocks looks like. When everything looks finished up, we'll have a sort of short backstory written. We'll clean up those NPCs and those ties, those threads that we have that'll put us into conflict, dramatic conflict later. And we'll start. So I'll start by looking over that stuff next time. And then we'll maybe talk a little bit about the solo RPG Oracle process that I'm going to use, and then I think we're going to jump into it. Even if it's just for a little bit, just to sort of like our character arriving at the trade post to seek out their colleague, their discredited sage, to ask about their dead colleague. I think that'll be a good place to start next Sunday. So that's it for me. Obviously, you got the links below. Check those out. Got more in the about. If you like it, come back. I stream sometimes during the week, but mainly this Sunday stream is my big stream. So come back and check that out. You can watch the VOD. I think it's still up for the previous one. If not, you can find it over on YouTube. It's at Red Ragged Fiend, and you can watch it there. And that's where we are right now, and so I'll see you next time, and I hope you guys have a great day. Alright, bye guys.